ES Audio.
Hello, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, why a woolly jumper might foil facial recognition cameras, but first, could a handheld Star Trek-style laser gun help future missions to Mars hunt down alien life forms? The University of Maryland-led team says the NASA-funded zapper called Orbitrap is a smaller version of a drug discovery instrument used in labs that can be easily tucked away aboard a spaceship. It uses an ultraviolet ray to scan Martian particles for organic compounds. Currently, the rover vehicle on Mars needs to carry out tricky collection and analysis experiments to check for alien compounds as it trundles around the surface of the red planet. Now, volcano experts have discovered a vast moving chamber of magma gurgling away beneath an underground volcano close to the fancy tourist beaches of Santorini in Greece. So what evidence is there on the surface?
You can see one of the numerous hydrothermal vents in the Colombo crater discharging fluids 200 degrees Celsius hot. And what Colombo is an active submarine volcano a few kilometers offshore Santorini.
That's study lead author Dr. Kajetan Chabkevich, a geophysicist at Imperial College London and lead author of the study, who explains what they found.
What we recently found was indeed what we interpret as a magma chamber, only 2 kilometers beneath Colombo. So it kind of heats this hydrothermal system up. And although it's relatively small, it could still fill up about 1,000 Wembley stadiums.
And he explains the equipment they used.
Methods that you can think of as a 3D CT scan of the volcano's underbelly. But instead of X-rays, we use seismic waves.
Now, more research is needed to check whether the vast red-hot reservoir is heating up or cooling down, and if it poses any risk. The population of China has fallen for the first time in 6 decades, with just 6.77 births for every 1,000 people, despite the scrapping of the communist regime's one-child policy. According to data released by China's National Bureau of Statistics, the birth rate in the world's most populous country fell from 7.52 per 1,000 people in 2021. At the same time, amid the COVID pandemic, the rate of Chinese deaths outpaced the number of births at the highest rate since the mid-70s. Plans are reportedly afoot to harness the power of the sun from space to turn the energy into usable power back here on Earth. The UK government's been meeting with Saudi Arabian counterparts to discuss funding for a future British space solar project, according to The Times. The idea is to send up thermal panels that could convert electricity into high-frequency radio waves to be beamed back down to terra firma as electricity. It's claimed the system, which is also being investigated by Japan, China and the US, could help provide more reliable renewable power than relying on the sun's cycles on Earth. It seems milk actually did help our ancestors grow up big and strong. According to a study of skeletons over 25,000 years, around 2,000 to 7,000 years ago, the consumption of dairy helped growth, but also had an impact on lactose intolerance in Europe. Research by Queen's University in Belfast and the University of Western Ontario noted the skeleton sizes increased in regions where humans evolved to allow the production of enzymes that digest milk into adulthood. They say the study also points to the evolution of lactose intolerance seen today, where Northern Europeans are more lactose intolerant than people in the south of the continent. Next. An Italian fashion startup reckons its jazzy jumpers can help users fool the mushrooming numbers of facial recognition cameras in our public spaces. Capable says each of its knitted garments feature what's described as an adversarial patch designed by AI that bamboozles face scanning software. The founder tells CNN it works to confuse facial recognition cameras between 60 and 90% of the time. The jumper designs themselves are somewhat reminiscent of the 90s 3D Magic Eye artworks. For more, see Seinfeld episode 92. Let's go to the ads. Stay there for more news from the world of tech and science. Plus, would you live in a crypto-themed house that looks like an ode to tech bros? Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. The creators of an artificial intelligence art tool called Stable Diffusion, the subject of a lawsuit lodged by photo agency Getty Images. Getty is claiming a copyright violation over allegations its stock shots were used to train the software, saying they've commenced legal proceedings and lodged papers with the High Court. But the software's developers, Stability AI, told The Verge they've yet to receive any legal papers, so could not comment. Staying with AI art, and a system called Midjourney is generating images of party people smiling at the camera and raising a toast, but shock! They actually don't exist IRL, just on the lonely screen. But take a closer look and you'll see the AI's made a right hash of the creation. The people look quite odd indeed, with hands growing from their hips, mouldy looking tattoos and extreme amounts of extra teeth. Midjourney is an AI program that creates images from text, so users type in what they want to see and the AI creates photos based on the commands. And finally, would you live in a house that Bitcoin built? News reaches Tech and Science Daily of a Hollywood home that's struggling to sell, which is the most cryptocurrency-themed property you have ever seen. The decor is highly individualistic, but if you like Warhol-style portraits of NFT apes, this could be the forever home for you. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Leader podcast, where we bring you the latest news, interviews and analysis from the Evening Standard here in London. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.